Hi students, today we are going to talk about the topic DNA replication. We have heard about different replicas in our life. We have heard about the replicas of Taj Mahal, which is available for purchase online as well as in different shops. We have come across different replicas of different gods that we buy and we keep in our house. We have also come across recently there is a replica of the Titanic which is to be launched in 2020. So now we are talking today but about a replica of DNA. How the replicas of DNA are being synthesized. Replicas are nothing but different copies of something. And let's see how DNA copies are being prepared. Different copies of DNA are being mainly synthesized in the cell cycle during the S phase of the interphase. So every cell, when it undergoes the process of mitosis, it has to prepare copies of its entire DNA to be given to the progeny. And that process is throughout being carried out both in prokaryotes as well as in eukaryotes. And that's what is we are going to learn today, the DNA replication. So, of course, we understood we have to make different copies of DNA. But at the biochemical level, we know that DNA is a double helix, which is being found to be coiled and it is within the cell. So, to make different copies of this, you need to first uncoil the helix. The strand separation has to be done by breaking of the hydrogen bonds between the complementary strands, and the synthesis of new strands by complementary base pairing is also being involved. Usually, the DNA replication has always a start point. Not from every site on the DNA replication is started. There is a particular site from which only the DNA synthesis can happen, and that is known as the origin of replication or the orice. In the case of bacteria, they usually have one orice region, but of course there are some exceptions such as Sulfolobus, which has two. And as I told you earlier, DNA is being found entangled when it is within the cell, and it has to be unwound so that DNA synthesis can happen. And this is mainly being done with the help of certain enzymes called the DNA helicases, which will cause the two parent DNA strands to unwind and separate from one another in both the directions at this particular site to form a Y-shaped replication fork. Okay, so at the region of the orice region, what happens? The DNA strand will get separated and it will form a replication fork. And the actual site of DNA copying is this replication fork. In the case of eukaryotic DNA, there will be many replication forks which will copy the eukaryotic DNA simultaneously so that the molecule can be duplicated relatively quickly. So let's go into the details of it. What are the features of DNA replication? The first one that we have to say is that DNA is a semi-conservative mode of DNA replication. That is, the two strands of DNA are first separated and each of them will serve as a template for the synthesis of a complementary strand according to the base pairing rule. And each of the two progeny DNA molecules consist of one strand from the parent and one old strand as well as one new strand. And as a result, DNA is considered to be as a semi-conservative. That is, among every cell, half of the DNA is being obtained from its parent and half of it will be a new DNA. And as we note, always the synthesis of DNA will happen in the 5' to 3' direction. Why do we call it as the 5' 3' direction? And all that we will be going in detail. Always, as I mentioned earlier, the DNA replication starts from the origin of replication. Now I have depicted here the bacterial chromosome replication. The synthesis of DNA will occur at the replication fork, the place at which the DNA helix is unwound and the individual strands are replicated. Now the two replication forks will move outward from the origin until they have occupied the whole replicon, and the portion of the genome that contains the origin is being replicated as a unit. When the replication fork moves around the circular chromosome observed in most bacteria, a Greek theta shaped structure is being formed, as you can see it here. Okay, as the replication fork is moving in both the directions, you will get a theta shaped structure. And finally, when they reach at the terminal region or the ter region, what happens? The replication ends, and ultimately the two circular chromosomes of the bacteria get separated. And here you can see that DNA replication is being found to be bidirectional, as the DNA synthesis happens in two directions of the replication fork. Now, what is the biochemistry part of it? For DNA synthesis to happen, of course, you need some building blocks. And the building blocks are DATP, DGTP, DCTP and DTTP. Then, these building blocks have to be added onto something. You need a framework onto which this is to be added. So, you need a DNA template. That is something essential. Then, there should be someone who should build it, and that is the enzyme called the DNA polymerase. In addition to this, so we got three things which are being needed for the DNA replication. In addition to this, we also need something else called the primer. A primer is something of a RNA strand or a DNA strand. Usually it's an RNA strand which will provide a free 3'OH group to which the nucleotides are added. Now, what is this? Let's have a look. What is the reaction or what is the necessity of a primer? If you go to look here, I have given you a dinucleotide. The first is attached to the base thymine and the second nucleotide which has been attached to adenine. Now at the 3' end you have an OH moiety. Okay. And to attach onto this, there is another nucleotide which is having a cytosine. A CTP has come. And what happens? This 3', the bonding between this 3'OH with the phosphate moiety, okay, the phosphate of this CTP will result in the formation of 3', 5' phosphodiester bonds, 3' to 5' phosphodiester bonds, which will link the next nucleotide onto the dinucleotide. So synthesis of DNA always happens in the 5' to 3' direction. You can see that there is a 5' to the 3' direction, and energy is needed for this, and it is mainly formed by the bonding is mainly of 3', 5' phosphodiester bond, and the release of a terminal 2 phosphates as a pyrophosphate do happens, and the pyrophosphate is subsequently hydrolyzed to 2 separate phosphates. Now, there are lots of things. Okay, I told you some basic things which are needed. In addition to this, the process of DNA replication requires various other proteins, and we are discussing about that with E. coli as an example. Firstly, we need a protein called the DNA A protein, which will bind onto the ORIC region. Something has to go and bind onto the ORIC region and tell the DNA polymerase, okay, this is a region from which the DNA replication has to happen. And that protein which goes and bind onto the ORIC is the DNA A protein. Then, another thing that we need is something which will unwind the DNA by breaking the hydrogen bonds holding the two strands together. So DNA B protein, referred to as a helicase, mainly does this function. Next, we have a DNA gyrase. Okay, we know that we have learned about topoisomerases, and DNA gyrase is an example of a topoisomerase, which will relieve the tension which has been caused by the supercoiling of DNA. Okay, when the DNA strands have been separated by helicases for the replication to happen, of course there would be lots of tension in the and it would result in the formation of supercoils ahead of the replication fork. So to relieve from that tension, some proteins called the DNA gyrases act. Then once the single-stranded DNAs have been formed in the replication forks, they shouldn't be they shouldn't further base pair and prevent the replication to occur. For that, we have someone called the single strand binding proteins. In addition to this, we have other protein called the DNA C protein, which is a helicase loader, and it will help the helicase to bind to the DNA template. There are also various other accessory proteins which will all together form the primosome complex, helping the which will onto which the our DNA primase, another enzyme which will synthesize RNA primer, will be synthesized. Now comes the main enzymes called the DNA polymerase 3 or the holo enzyme. It consists of 20 polypeptides and catalyze most of the DNA synthesis that occurs during the DNA replication. It also has a 3' to 5' exonuclease proofreading activity, which we will be discussing later. And in addition to DNA polymerase 3, we have DNA polymerase 1, which will remove the RNA primers, fill the gaps in the DNA formed by removal of RNA primer. Then we have ribonuclease H, which will remove the RNA primers. You have DNA ligases, which will seal the nicked DNA, joining the DNA fragments together. And you have a DNA replication terminus site binding protein, which will bind to the termination of replication. And of course, topoisomerase 4, which will help in the segregation of chromosomes upon the completion of DNA replication. I guess that so much is clear to you. We'll go to the next portion in the next session. Thank you.